Is it recording? Oh, yeah, it is. Play the intro.
A better you starts today.
God, what a good start to this. That shows what a technophobe I am. And why am I a technophobe? Because I have read heaps of those books on focus that you get at the airport. And they all say exactly the same thing, which is that, did you know this? Focus is important. Allow me to break down why. Oh no, I forgot. No, but the main point is, look, anything that you ever do in your life that is worth note will be you finishing one of those oversized snack pack boys. But that requires focus. Obviously, years of dedication and training so that you can get to the point of being that skibbity-bop-bop, that gut didn't happen overnight. That was years of concentrating of, no, I'm going to put all the kebab meat in my mouth. No. And then finally, he can put a little face on his stomach and entertain the masses with that. And he deserves every penny that he is clearly getting from all of these third world restaurants that he goes to dance and bob around at. And what happened there is that man has contributed his own little personal renaissance to the world. His little artistic flair of stealing someone else's song and being fat. I love that man. God bless fat Turks. Dude, they are just the most entertaining people on earth, aren't they? First there was Yilmaz, then there was a man that looks exactly like Yilmaz but 30. Now, when it comes to focus, what a great start, by the way, when we're talking about focus. But focus, when you need to do that, I would say is about all of your working life, especially because as we've gone through the stats before, vast majority of people now are down to less than 2 hours of work a day. Less. And they're going into the corporate world and studying this. Can you imagine going out to the western suburbs and asking the guys packing boxes how much they're working? Because whatever it is, it's not enough. And I think that we should institute those Indian guys with turbans in Indiana Jones with the whips to make sure that they're on task. But thank you very much, Labor government. We won't be getting that, will we? Fucking IR reforms. Instead, everything that you contribute in life is going to be a result of focus. You have the potential in this day and age. This death of the salesman myth that exists in the world, that I worked hard all my life and my kids hate me. I think that was a 20th century thing. In this day and age, when everything that you do is so accessible, it is really on you. Come on. Like, in this day and age, you know, junkies have a higher camera phone than I do. They have better camera equipment than I had most of my life. And we're not even just talking about camera equipment. There will be something in your specific field that if you truly focus on it, it will only be a matter of time that you get noticed for it. But the sheer irony is that the very thing that made that possible, you have to stay away from and avoid like the plague. That's the paradigm that we live in now. Every hour that you spend off of social media and then you spend on that one thing in life that you are going to push forward. And what is it? There's always a bunch of people in the comments that are saying, I don't know what to focus on in life. Well, if that's the case, I'm always saying, that's probably because you don't read. If you started reading in things that you're interested in, except for fantasy, that's just bullshit because it never really happened in the real world. And then there's going to be a bunch of neckbeards out there being like, what if you want to write fantasy? Then yes, go read fantasy then. But you would still need to read a bunch of books on how to write, because I'm awfully sorry, but your little fan fictions that got a bunch of little neckbeards hard, that's probably not good enough to be published. And if it is good enough to be published, then I want to jump out that balcony right there. But in the meantime, mostly, in very few exceptions, the enemy is the internet, and your friend is sitting down on your laptop with the Pages note open. It scared me so much. I saw this chick just uploaded that she wrote this essay, in inverted commas. She's around my age, and she's like, I'm going back to uni. And she was like, look at this, everyone. And then she had a wine in her hand. She didn't show her face. A wine and a laptop, and then she looked at the word count, and she was like, 3,000 words. And I was like, dude, me? If I write 3,000 words in a day, that's a bad day. Especially when you go to like rewrites and edits and all that kind of stuff. Like, I should be able at this point to go through and pump out 2 scripts 2 scripts would be a minimum of 3,500 words. And if I'm not focused and I am only pumping out, say, 3,000 words in a day, like in terms of just like the edits and all that kind of stuff, it'll probably get cut back to about 2,000 words. But she's just sitting there just being like, I spent a semester on this. Like, this is the world that you're competing against, you know? So you can get to the level where you're pumping out just so much more content than anybody else is, so much more work, whatever the word is that you have for your output or something. You can get to that stage and you can absolutely crush it in this new digital economy that is, it's a very exciting time to be alive, essentially. A very, very exciting time to be alive if you can get off the thing that makes life exciting. And you need to be able to, first off, prime yourself and be very excited about doing the thing that is going to advance you in life. And you should be excited about that because a better world awaits, not just you, everyone, if you are able to go through the gristle. We're going to go back to the concept of the gristle in a second, but I just want to impress this on you while it's fresh in my head. You don't know what it is yet, but you will, which is the entire point is, and I want you to write this point down, every hour that you are focusing on that thing is a gift. Every hour that you are focusing on this is a curse. It is making your life, it is cursing your life. You know it. Because the more that you focus on it, the more that you're like, and you just keep going down that path. Every hour that you focus on this, there is this great moment after about an hour and a half of work where you're like, I can't do anymore. And that is earned. That brain feel. We're talking about this in previous videos. But you know how you have that burn after working out in a day? You should have that burn in your brain. You should have that exact same feeling in your brain. Not exact same feeling. It's slightly different. But it feels like it should be overworked. You should be getting that feeling 2 or 3 times a day. You should be aiming for that. Some days you're not going to be able to do it, but some days you will. And on those days, well, then you've earned your little online, haven't you? So then you can go do that. That's great. But what I want you to make sure that you are doing is heaps of these. That's the key to success right there. What I want you to be doing is getting into that habit. The way that I want you to get into that habit is, and I can't believe that I've never talked about this technique before because it's so simple, but it is revolutionary, life-changing. Not only are you going to block out the internet, I know that we talk about that all the time. What you are also going to do is you are going to set yourself a timer. You are going to focus on whatever it is. This is your challenge. Right after this video finishes, you are going to log off. After this video finishes, you are going to get the little internet blocker and you're blocking. Hour minimum. I want it to be like 3 or 4 hours, frankly, but like hour minimum. And then I want you to just immediately set a timer. And then the challenge is to do as much work as possible to try and get that task done while that time is going down. You have to get back into the habit. This is the key to habits, right? The key to success in our Western world. I've got another video that's just about like time. That's really trippy. That's going to be in for paid members. So you better sign up to Jordan Shanks if you want to see that one. But that one really trips you out. That is so... I was trying to think of another word other than weird, but it just is. It's so weird. It's so weird. When you really think about the construct of time and how that can completely manipulate your life. And like, you know, just like the way that people are perceiving time really is a big factor in whether they're going to be a success or a loser. That is a huge factor in it. Because if somebody thinks that 5 minutes is a long time, they get a lot of work done. If they think it's, you know, like if they think that 5 minutes is nothing, then 5 minutes is nothing. But life is just made up of 5-minute components. There's a big secret in how you're perceiving time. But that's for paid members. So if you want to see the upskilled version of that, you're going to have to sign up to Jordan Shanks, where you get up to 3 videos a week, depending on how much of a cheapskate you are. But they're all these big concepts like that, constantly drilled into you. Some of them are really small. And then there's also just the nagging things of just like, make sure that you're writing down your goals. Let's go through what your goals are. Let's reprioritize your life. Let's get all of that working in the best fashion that it possibly can be. Because the better that is working, the better that you're working, the better that your life starts working. So sign up to Jordan Shanks for that. But here is the rub. When you start a timer, what happens in your head? You have perceived that hour is valuable, that it's precious, that it's fleeting. What is the entire point of being on the internet? killing time. There is no time to kill. That is a myth. There is not a second that you should ever be killing. Not 1 second. It is all finite. And it is finite when you start thinking about it being finite. Then you're just like, fuck, only an hour? Now think about the difference in mentality between somebody there that's just being like, oh, I'll start in an hour. And then someone else that's just like, all I've got is this hour. All I have is this hour. That's what you want to get into your head. And the thing is, once you do get it into your head, this is the real trippy thing. It goes by extremely fast. And at the end, instead of feeling like crap, you feel very satisfied with yourself, very smug, far more superior to everybody else out there because they are not making their time precious. This is a big key to focus, and focus is where everything stems from. Everything in your life is what you are focusing on. That's everything. The good things, the bad things, you focus on it, it's going to expand. That's what I want you to take home from this. I also want you to sign up to Jordan Shanks. Links in the description. I'll see you next time. Keep watching the skies.